There's no knowing what you could discover while fishing in the depths of the seas other than what is typical. Here are some of the captures made by fishermen throughout the world that no one was intended to see, ranging from floating jackpots to strange monsters in the shadows. Massive catch. This capture was so enormous that word of it spread online. Since it weighed many tons, most animal lovers became alarmed by the capture since they thought it indicated a decline in the number of fish in the region. This video, which was released on the internet at random, depicts two fishermen who may have used a massive net to catch millions of fish. Fish flow all over the boat when one of the crew members loses control of the fish net. Typically, fishermen don't release young fish to prevent the species from becoming extinct. Snapping turtles saved. On a weekend, a father and daughter were out fishing near Baltimore, Ohio, when they spotted a turtle's claws sticking out of the water. The father came to the rescue by grasping the claws and tugging them out, since they clearly indicated they were struggling to avoid being snapped into the pipe. He first tried to take it out using a rope as a preventative measure, but after numerous unsuccessful efforts owing to intense pressure, he turned to use his hands. The turtle may have been saved from drowning when he was able to lift it back to the surface shortly after. Skeleton of Mermaid. What you discover in the water might not always be to your taste. An unidentified source recorded a video of what appears to be a real decaying mermaid skeleton that was discovered on a beach while trying to catch some little fish in the sea. These little bones were found alongside a human-like head and tail bones, which were picked up out of curiosity and discarded as soon as they were aware of their true nature. There is a high likelihood that this was a juvenile mermaid that perished in some way, or was maybe consumed by an apex predator. Many people believe that this may be a fake. Others believe it's quite trustworthy. Tasmanian giant crayfish. With the assistance of a local researcher, a film team in Tasmania, an island state of Australia, discovered the largest freshwater crayfish ever known. They began their hunt by setting up a number of fish-baited traps and nets, and after making a few efforts, they saw a young crayfish guiding a fully grown enormous female crayfish that was devouring one of the baits. The large and strong claws of these monsters may easily pull off an entire finger, therefore one must be careful. It was estimated to weigh more than 3 kilos and be an amazing 61 centimeters long. Since they are so uncommon, it's legally prohibited to catch them. Fish eating shark. An amazing example of a dead fish trying to devour a shark was discovered by an Indian fisherman during mud fishing. As the mud began to dry up, it became stuck midway, and it's likely that it died as a result of being unable to move or get rid of the prey. The shark corpse was so firmly lodged in the fish's jaws that it would not budge with water or force. In light of this, the only option left was to cut the fish in half and detach the shark from it. Huge Maine lobster. In the state of Maine, a handful of fishermen managed to catch a massive female lobster. The largest lobster they have ever captured was over a pound in weight and as long as his arm. On its back were tens of thousands of tiny eggs. Moreover, the lobster was released together with some treats because large lobsters are really uncommon. According to legend, each female lobster can contain 10,000 eggs per pound. Thus, if this lobster weighs 7 to 8 pounds, it might have about 70,000 to 80,000 eggs. Fish in a whale. A whale unintentionally beached itself on the Mexican shore while engaged in a vigorous pursuit of its prey. The villagers then discovered something in the whale's mouth as they struggled to keep it submerged in water. Its mouth was strangely occupied by a large fish. The whale unintentionally beached itself while attempting to grab its prey, according to a local marine researcher. The whale was hauled back into the sea while being roped to boats with the aid of a fisherman after putting in numerous hours. Strangest looking fish. It's possible that a fish with this appearance is a previously unidentified species that was just caught. A large, strange-looking fish was captured in Colombia in February 2019 while fishing after being tangled in the line. It had a very unusual appearance. From its fins, tails, and haphazard spines to the entire structure of its body, its exterior skin was covered with bone-like shards all throughout, and it had fur-like material covering its eyes and lips. However, it was decided to let go of the fish and return it to the sea because of its rarity and unfamiliarity. Cyclops albino shark. These types of animals would undoubtedly increase people's dread of sharks. An incredibly unusual capture obtained by a Mexican fisherman in the Sea of Cortez was a single-eyed albino Cyclops shark. He came across a pregnant shark while fishing after it became entangled in a line and had its fetus ripped apart. The fisherman examined the remnants and found this strange-looking shark with only one eye in the front. Marine researchers examined the discovery and proclaimed it to be the first of its type to be officially validated. The origin of the discovery was attributed to the sea's quick rise in pollution. Save the shark. Who even knew that apex predators need human help? Back in 2022, a tidal surge brought this tiger shark to shore on a beach in Indonesia. I feel worse for her since it's obvious how disoriented she is, how hurt she is, and how they're dragging her through the sand. Ancient mummified mermaid. We were unable to locate a true mermaid in spite of all the advances in technology, which is quite humiliating. A strange-looking creature was supposedly found in the Pacific Ocean off the Japanese island of Shikoku in March of last year. After rigorous analysis by marine biologists and archaeologists and identification of its human face and tail, it was discovered to be an ancient mermaid from the time between 1736 and 1741. The body was preserved through mummification and is presently placed at a shrine in Ashkuchu. At this point, either we were unable to find any real mermaids, or they just vanished. Fishermen hit jackpot. More than just fish and whales can occasionally be found in the water. For example, a Yemeni fisherman struck it rich when he discovered a whale that was dead with a 127-kilogram chunk of ambergris within its gut, a material that is utilized to stabilize the aroma of perfumes and is referred to as floating gold. Normally, these fishermen barely make ends meet, but after selling the ambergris to an Amaretti businessman for more than $1.5 million, they're now able to live well. Despite the size of this payment, the fishermen won't be giving up their jobs anytime soon. Giant Manta Ray. Other fortunate fishermen struck the jackpot after making a significant discovery in 2020, giving Indian fisherman Subhash Sala the opportunity of a lifetime. Two enormous manta rays, one weighing 750 kilograms and the other more than 250 kilograms, were trapped in a large haul. The fisherman disclosed that he went deep-sea fishing at Mangalore Rock off the Malpe port on the Karnataka coast in order to make the enormous catch. At the harbour, a great audience gathered to see the rays being hoisted by cranes. These enormous manta rays, which may be transported for a lucrative price, are known to be an endangered species. Before we move further with this video, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you can keep watching our amazing content. Shark catch bait. Have you ever been successful in catching a large shark by just tossing the fishing line at a beach? While many in Australia struggle to make even a single catch, a crew of young guns and a fishing team unintentionally captured a large shark that just so happened to be close to the shore. They measured its length, breadth and weight and decided to let it go. They gently hooked on the fishing line after pulling it out. Would you be willing to let go of anything in this way? Please share with us in the comments. Largest Caribbean lobster. Now there's a catch for an unlimited buffet. While conducting their customary hunt for a catch, local fishermen in the Caribbean off the coast of Mano Pabu, Puerto Rico, came across a lobster that was so enormous that even they were taken aback. This lobster required many large, strong guys to drag it ashore and transport it to the fish market because of its weight. One of the fishermen claims that they caught the largest known lobster in the nation, which they then sold for a profit of 10 years' wages. Although the majority of people don't think this is true, it certainly seems to be. Mud fishing. Every seasonal shift causes water levels to dramatically rise and fall, which facilitates mudfish migration. The African mudfish, often known as the lungfish, may survive for several months without access to water by digging a mud tunnel beneath a dried-up stream bed. After extreme weather started to dry up the mud, restricting the migration of the fish, this African fisherman was able to capture a number of enormous mud and lungfishes. Despite having smooth skin and a propensity to crawl in the shallows, mudfish are heavy and slippery, making it difficult to grab them with bare hands. Largest turtle ever. Instead of running or displaying an aggressive energy, it seemed to appreciate the attention. A huge turtle was found in the middle of a feast in a shallow Pacific Ocean bed in June 2019 by a party of divers in Tokyo. Knowing that no one would believe them, they made the decision to film the enormous turtle from a safe distance. One of the divers claimed that they were astounded to witness such a stunning find, enjoying their company rather than leaving them speechless. World record catfish. The biggest albino catfish in the world was reportedly captured by British angler Bernie Campbell in 2013. He managed to catch a rare fish species while fishing on the River Ebro close to Barcelona, Spain. The capture weighed 10 pounds more than the previous world record. The likelihood of catching this catfish, which was 2.7 meters long and weighed 227 pounds, was 1 in 5,000. For the sake of the species' survival, Bernie Campbell made the decision to return the enormous catfish to the river. Mantis Shrimp. The praying mantis of the seas is similar to the Mantis Shrimp. It's well acknowledged to be the most hazardous of all marine fish and crustaceans. They fight and kill animals or predators by spearing or dismembering them as they hit with a powerful eraser that is as hard as a hammer. Despite this, a skillful and courageous fisherman used extreme caution to successfully land a mantis shrimp. In the animal realm, they possess the swiftest punch. In many shallow tropical and subtropical marine areas, submerged mantis shrimp may be found. They grow to a length of around 3.9 inches, occasionally up to 15 inches, and spend most of their life hiding in burrows and holes. Giant stingray discovered. In June 2022, this enormous stingray is expected to be discovered. It's believed to be the biggest freshwater stingray ever. After a low tide, a 661-pound stingray that was about 4 meters long was discovered in Cambodia's shallow waters. This is a good sign that the Mekong River is still alive and well, according to a marine scientist from the University of Nevada. Despite the increasing amount of fishing, this was the largest freshwater fish ever recorded. The stingray was returned to the water after being weighed, measured and photographed. The Mekong huge stingray, which weighed 645 pounds when it was captured in northern Thailand in 2005, is thought to have been exceeded in size. Horseshoe crab. A marine creature that seems to be a crab from below but a stingray from the top. Horseshoe crabs may resemble other crustaceans due to their appearance and name. However, despite this, they are more closely connected to spiders and scorpions than other crabs or crustaceans. Unlike the majority of other marine life, they are caught with their distinctive blood traits. Their blood is blue and transports oxygen because it contains copper and hemocyanin. It serves as a crucial component in the creation of various pharmacological products. They can be discovered in shallow coastal waters on muddy or soft sandbeds. Unknown fish caught. Have you ever caught a fish and thought it wasn't quite right to be a fish? A group of fishermen landed a fish that was as long as a piece of cloth, hollow, and had a slim body. Over the face, there was hardly any skin surface at all. Despite having fished for many years and according to a generational family custom, they were unable to identify the kind or species of this fish. Could that be an eel of some type or an oarfish? Please let us know in the comments if you have any other information about this fish. Unidentified catch. Before it ever ends permanently, moments like these rekindle the horror of the Black Seas. In May 2012, a group of fishermen in rough waters discovered something really strange while going about their routine of capturing fish. They only recognized anything strange while drawing the net up. Before they could get a clear look at it and figure out what it was, they began to struggle ferociously and engulfed the fisherman, who was already terrified of the unknown. One of the fishermen immediately reacted by dropping the net back into the water. It was widely believed that the fisherman may have unintentionally caught a mermaid. Whale lets tourists touch. One such moment occurred to a group of travelers when they were on an ocean cruise. The travelers came upon a group of enormous grey whales that were amenable to playing with them. The clip shows the marine creatures swimming up to the side of the boat, allowing the passengers to stroke its head and even giving one of them a kiss. According to its position, the animal appears to be encouraging before parting ways with its fun intent. The whale even briefly began propelling the boat, striking all of its occupants who managed to trap it. Before moving to number 1 on this list, take a look at this picture and video. A bizarre, horrifying monster was seen in this photo and video taken a year ago in a river in Uzbekistan. A mysterious group of fishermen offers a peace sacrifice to a grotesque-looking river creature. It's said that this aquatic monster allows people to fish from its river in exchange for their gift of chicken flesh. After watching this movie, the filmmaker decided to go on an excursion with the fisherman out of curiosity and incredulity. He couldn't stop talking after hearing it, and although wanting to approach closer for obvious reasons, he kept his distance. This creature's identity is still unknown to this day. Could this be a mermaid or an alien that just so happens to have a home in the river? Please express your thoughts in the comments section. Babies scooped in mouth. You may not be the preferred child if your parents have never picked you up in a similar way. Wildlife specialists were able to capture a particularly memorable moment between a mother crocodile and her offspring while observing the mother's behavior. They placed a mock crocodile with a camera showing how the mother crocodile picks up her young in the mouth while teaching them to swim. Aware that they are not secure on land, even if the camera is submerged in water, it continues to record. I sincerely appreciate you watching this video. To ensure you don't miss any new episodes, like, share and press the bell button on the channel.